we doing today? We are going to make a lemon berry crumb cake. Yes, we are. Half a cup of butter, 3/4 cup of brown sugar. We're also going to add the zest of 1 lemon.
If you've never zested a lemon before, grab a microplane or even a fork and just lightly drag it across the lemon. You're going to want to go ahead and pull off basically that bright yellow coating on the lemon, and that has so much flavor.
Add 1 cup of flour. You do not want to compact your flour. Shake this off, level it off evenly. Do not do the trick that I used to do where you like cram it up against the side of the bag or press it down. That's just going to give you way too much flour. I just like literally shake it off and add it. And that way you're not adding too much flour, and that's how a lot of times your stuff will end up too dry. My butter is at room temperature, so it's not going to be a problem. I'm not going to end up with a great big drama where, you know, I got butter flying everywhere, she says. And then just using your fork, just kind of mush it all together. And what you're going to end up with is a very fine crumble, okay? And this is what's going to go on top of the of our cake. Now, if you want to get all feral with this, you can actually use your hands and get in there and just kind of start crumbling it all together. I've done that more times than I can count because I'll inevitably get a little impatient with the fork here, but whatever works for you. And what you're going to end up with is basically little clumps of wet sand. That's exactly what you want. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is this. Is this technically necessary to do? No, it's not. But it's a little trick I picked up a long time ago, and it's honestly a game changer when it comes to fruit flavored treats and cookies and cakes and things like that. Well, you can always go ahead and zest your lemon, add it in with your sugar, add it in with your butter, your eggs, all the things, mix it all together, and life is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you take the zest from this lemon and add it to your handy dandy little mini food processor, okay, which I cannot live without this thing, and add your sugar to this as well, and then it all together, you now have lemon sugar, okay? You can do this with oranges. You can do it if you're making, like, I don't know, lime cookies or something. You know what I mean? Whatever you're using lemon in a baked good or anything sweet, okay? You can make lemon sugar, orange sugar, lime sugar. It's going to enhance that lemon flavor, okay, or that fruit flavor, because you're taking the zest and you're going to go ahead and all those essential oils you're going to break out, and now your sugar is going to taste like lemon. Instead of lemon and sugar, you're going to have lemon sugar. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and zest this lemon into my little mini food processor. We're going to add our sugar. We're going to make lemon sugar, and then we're going to move on with the rest of the cake. So what we have now is light yellow lemon sugar. Perfect. All right, we're going to add our lemon sugar. All right, and to that we're going to add 1 stick of butter, which is half a cup of butter, 1/4 cup of veggie oil. Okay, once you get your oil, your butter, and your sugar in there, you're going to want to mix that all together, okay? All right, after that, you're going to add 1 egg. So that's 1/4 cup of buttermilk. And then you're going to go ahead and add half a cup of sour cream, and that's going to make everything so moist, so tangy. Oh, I used the moist word. Sorry about that, but true. It's going to be amazing. And just mix all that into. What we're going to do next, this lemon that we've already zested. I have not prepared it all this morning. Sorry about that. We are going to find our juicer. Found the juicer. All right, we are going to go ahead and we are going to add, let's do 1. We're just going to add half the juice from half of this lemon. It looks like it's pretty juicy, so we like that. You know, baking is science, so we can't get too crazy and add the juice of 7 lemons and then still put the same amount of flour in. It doesn't work that way. We're also going to go ahead and add in just a little bit of vanilla. Never have too much vanilla. And then if you want to get a little bit crazy, you can add a little bit extra lemon extract if you want. Now, some people are a big fan of things like lemon extract. Some people aren't. I think it's sexy. Gonna add just a little bit. Okay. Slide that back in there. Give it a little whirl. Next, we're gonna go ahead and we're add our dry ingredients to this. That's 2 1/4 cup all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and then about half a teaspoon, a little bit more if you're inclined, of salt, and that's all we have left to add. So let's go ahead and get that in the mix, and then we're just about done.
To your cake batter, go ahead and add 2 1/4 cups flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and about half a teaspoon of salt. Be sure you mix that real well, and don't forget to scrape down the sides of your mixing bowl so that all of your ingredients get incorporated perfectly. After that, you're going to add your fruit.
So what I have now, I've got blueberries and I have raspberries. Frozen, you can use fresh, you can use frozen. I like the frozen because honestly, you can, you're not waiting for a particular fruit to be in season. And then also by the time I get around to using my fresh berries, usually they're kind of, so, the frozen ones stay with me forever. Now, if you are using frozen, don't forget to kind of, crush it and break up your fruit a little bit before you add it to your batter. That way you're not ending up with like, here's a huge clump of blueberries over here and here's 2 little blueberries over there. You want to make sure all of your fruit is going to disperse real nicely in your cake.
To your bowl, you're going to add 1 cup of blueberries and 1/2 cup raspberries, up to 1 cup of raspberries, and then you're going to stir all of that together so it's all evenly dispersed.
Okay, so we're good with there. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to grab our pan that we have been happily waiting for us. I love using cast iron skillets. I use them for everything. To me, they're just like the best pan to use for so many different things. Don't even get me started on biscuits and gravy, but this is what I use to make this. If you don't have a cast iron skillet, just use a regular baking pan. That's no worries. I'm going to grab about 1 tablespoon of butter. We're going to make sure this cake does not stick. And then I'm just going to go ahead and completely coat the inside of this skillet with my butter, because butter makes everything better. And now that we have that completely, and I mean the little edges, the creases, the this, the that, perfect. We are going to now spoon in, get our thing out of the way here. We're going to go ahead and spoon in our batter. This is a very thick batter. Do we see this? This is not a pourable. This is a scoopable.
Once your batter is in your pan, using a silicone spatula or even just the back of a spoon, make sure you have it all evened out.
All right, so now what I do is I just go ahead, we've got that awesome crumble. We're going to go ahead and just kind of use your fork. Make sure you're breaking up any large pieces or not. Honestly, there's no wrong thing when it comes to crumble. Love crumble toppings. All right, and then what we're going to do is just, any way you want to do it, you can sit there and just shake it on top. You can use your hands, whatever you want to do.
Add your crumble topping to your cake, and then using your hand, just even it out so everything's in a perfect even layer.
All that, and now it's finally ready to go in the oven. All right, you want to see something beautiful? Look at that! Ah! Is this thing not amazing? Oh, this thing smells so good. So good. You can smell the lemon. It's all full of berries. It's got that sugar topping. It's all happy, happy, happy. Now, you can serve this as is. This would be, if you're, say you're doing this as like a dessert, because you know how sometimes breakfast and dessert can be the same thing. A little bit of ice cream on top of this. Yes, please. You could serve this as breakfast. You could go ahead and do like some sifted powdered sugar and some lemon juice and maybe just a little tiny dash of salt. Whip all that up together so you got a real nice little glaze, and just do a little across, a little bit extra sweetness, a little bit more tart, a little more lemon. Oh, yes. So yeah, this is beautiful. This is gorgeous. This smells divine. My dog is whining because I'm not giving her any. There you go. Bippity boppity boo. Done. Perfect. Eat it for breakfast, eat it for lunch, eat it for dinner. Who cares? It's going to be awesome. Hope you had fun. See you next time. Bye. Oh my gosh, it's perfect. Can you see that? Can you? Here, let me help you. Can you see that? Look how perfect that is. Ah! Yeah, buddy. That is so freaking perfect. That is so freaking perfect. Yeah, I'm just eating right out of the middle of the cake. And zero apologies. It is tender and, I hate the word moist, and This is freaking stupidly good. Make this. You won't regret it. Make this.